Hey Gwenters, welcome back for another episode of Gone Gwenting. Today, at the request of Shuban, we are going to focus on an inspired Zeal deck. I had felt pretty hopeless about this. I had tried several iterations, it just wasn't working. I think a lot of that was because I was trying to do new and fancy things when we just needed to get back to basics. So basically, the whole goal of this deck is to kind of parrot Lippy Flip deck with the Saris Shield Maiden proc. And instead, we're going to be using Roach to spawn additional Blue Stripes Commandos. And if we're really lucky, we'll also get Decoy and or a Neuromancy in hand so that we can actually put Vernon back into our deck and play him again in third round. Pavetta is going to give us basically the flip that Lippy gives us. That said, it's only going to be on those Commandos, but it's a lot of fun. Carrick Frigate gives us some good, durable engine work going on. Temerian Drummers are good for the boosts. I think if I was to switch up anything, I might try to find a way to get in maybe like Egmund or on a Stringer, but they play at 7, and I've liked Voimir more, especially with the armor. It's just a good resistance to Wild Boar, which is literally flooding the meta out there. Like my puns. Anyway, let's just get into this. This deck, like I said, pretty fun. I wouldn't call this the best deck of all time, but it can keep pace with lots of the decks out there. There's kind of this like interesting overlap of like who beats who, right? And annoyingly, Nilfgaard still is just the Achilles heel to Northern Realms. Locks are persistent and annoying. Some people are still running a ball deck with poisons, which is really difficult because purifies are otherwise useless. I did play against a Harmony deck that was still running poisons. That was annoying, but there's enough units, there's enough diversity that I still won both of those games. So it definitely can compete. Turn order is going to be important. And then this Skellige Second Wind deck can be really bad if they get the boar on final round and they've damaged everything. With that said, there are some things we can do to prevent that damage. So these Carrick Cutthroats are going to set up the Roach Death Blow. Royal Guards are really great to protect Roach and or the Blue Stripes. We have the Scout, we have Ballista. Only thing I would really like to have in here, probably, let's fold in Carrick Frigate. Don't really need it this round. And we don't need 2 Cutthroats. Neuromancy is the card I would like. I'm not going to go again because I definitely don't want another Blue Stripe. I do want to play for as many points as I can in that regard. And then Engineering Solution also gives us a good defense against craziness. So we'll go ahead and play Royal Guards. If they die, it is what it is. Some Skellige decks are running decent removal tools, so I found it's fewer and fewer of them just because people have had to keep the 4 provision cost cards pretty taut. If you've seen my deck, Haymay Protector is still really valuable. But here it is, there's Stunning Blow. So we do see that come down. So instead, we'll throw down a Carrick Cutthroat. And if we can't get play off of this, we'll probably just actually go for Roach and put a shield on him. It's very important that we do get that spawn and that we use this Decoy to get some work on him. The one thing I will say about Decoy that is very important to keep in mind, it's going to play a random unit from your deck, which sometimes can be Drog. You can't have everything you want in life. So just something to be concerned about. Alright, so here I think actually we'll set up this hit with Ballista. And we'll go ahead and proc the bleed. And that should set us up pretty nicely for the Death Blow next turn. If he plays a different 4-point card, like Haymay Protector, then we will kill that instead and just let the bleed wear off and take out this on-crit raider. So, and then the basic setup here, pretty simple. You just go for the hit. I like Roach on melee. The only thing you'd really just have to keep in mind with Roach is the blue striped scouts play to melee, so just make sure that you have those where you want them. And it's often best, in my opinion, if we can get out of this with 5 cards. That way we can play Pavetta in second round. But she plays pretty well in third round too. She's still 6 points, right? So she's certainly not worthless. This random damage can be annoying, especially if he does have Wild Boar, but I'm not deeply worried about it. And then the blue stripes are just basically going to be here to get us as many spawns as possible. We're still at 5, so we have time to play the Decoy. I do want to remove Roach though, because I don't want him to get killed. That could be deeply problematic. And I probably should have triggered that ability first. But we are where we are. And honestly, that's not the worst play for us. I would have really hurt to play Vizigerd, Voimir, or Drog. Even Karak Frigate I would not have wanted. But because this is such a mid-range deck, I haven't really run into problems. I had one time where I did play, I unfortunately did play Vizigerd at the wrong time. But otherwise, it's been pretty good for me. And so this works out pretty well. So we're gonna get 2 more Commandos. So that's pretty nice. He could drop down a Great Sword and then go for Wild Boar, but the cadence here is kind of far off for him. He'd have to play 2 cards. So I'm anticipating going for a pass. He is now going to have to lose on evens or dig deep. I mean, he is going to get this flip here, so he'll do 1 more damage and then get 4 more points. So I'll go down to 25, and he will go up to 16. But that's still a 9-point play for him. With an on-crate Raider, if he had a Great Sword, he'd do 2 more, which would not quite be enough. So I think we are good. We're just going to tuck this in. The other option that we do have, we could go a Neuromancy, and we could pull Amphibious Assault, and we could play a Blue Striped Scout. I actually don't hate that option, but we don't need to. So I'm going to go ahead and pass. Whatever he plays is going to be a stretch. He's going to have to do the math, and it could be bad for him. So, I mean, odds are this will proc damage to the melee row, so he could get 1 damage, 1 point on the Greatsword, 4 points here, 2 damage from this, and another point from doing that damage on the Greatsword. It also helps him establish his graveyard, but again, so look, this would be 4, we'll go to 5, 6 points from that, and then I would go down 24. Ooh, Heimdall. Did not expect to see a Heimdall. Interesting play. It's going to be helpful for him to pull out a graveyard, for sure. But certainly not the best play, in my opinion. And again, I don't mind this down play in second round with Pavetta. I would like to have final say, but it's not the end of the world not to get it. Oh, and talk about good luck. Love seeing that Roach there. Okay, so other wants that we have: Drog, Vizigerd, Voimir. We can grab Voimir and we can grab Vizigerd with this Amphibious Assault. Plus we have Oneiromancy. So I think I'm actually pretty happy with this. The Carrot Cutthroat is probably not as good. Ballista might actually even be a little bit better for the setup, but we'll turn it in one more time. Tridum is probably the worst option. We definitely need one of these Temerian drummers to make him work. So that is what it is. We have a couple options here. If we were to play Pavetta, we would cycle them back in, but she would end up being damaged already. I kind of am in favor here of just wiping off this on-crate Longship with Selkirk. Even though it feels a bit like an overplay, I don't mind that cadence for this round, just to show him that we mean business. And I think we can force him into a position where he'll never be able to come back between a Neuromancy and Amphibious Assault. I think we can also go for Amphibious Assault. But yeah, staying a card up at this point is worth its weight in gold, right? Plus he will remain at base score. Okay, Longship's annoying, but I think here we're gonna go Amphibious Assault. And we're going to just just play Temerian Drummer, who has an armor and gets boosted, and he's got 2 boosts, so whenever we play a unit, we'll just play it to the right of Temerian Drummer. That way we don't have any damaged units. He is probably relying on Wild Boar of the Sea to get him out of this round without going down a card. That would be my sneaking suspicion. You know, another option we actually do have this round, we can just like spawn another Blue Stripes Commando and then cycle it back in. Alright. Weird choice. Certainly not the choice I would have made. Let's actually just go try them here. This is just a great pairing.
Awaiting your orders.
Give us decent cadence. And we could end up just like proccing enough damage here where Roach could get his death blow.
I once lopped off 3 heads with 1 blow.
I don't mind him going up. We have Baron to reset. Question is, Carrick Frigate we could play. Oh, Neuromancy just gets wasted this turn if we just hold it in hand, right? But why don't we go for Carrick Frigate? It's gonna give us some good survivability. So yes, he's more concerned with us flooding. Again, Wild Boar could get him a bunch of points here, but I don't really care because Bloody Baron's going to shut down that Greatsword. I think this is the bad thing about Skellige is you do have to set up this graveyard. He does need to set up for Harald. Alright, Skjordal to take out this Carrick Frigate is a decent play, but certainly not my favorite play I've ever seen. This does not get him a win. Pavetta's gonna get damaged, but we can go ahead and put her on range throw. I don't really want these back in my hand, but I don't want to spend Roach right now when I don't need to.
I can't!
We still proc 2. The boost and the damage. You could have Morkvarg, but whatever he plays, it's his final play, and it's not enough to get him out from under Bloody Baron, and I do not mind him spending a lot of gold cards here. We still have 2 Inspired Zeal, which can get us Roach and can get us Blue Stripes. If we have to, which is something I do like to keep on hold. But yeah, he's in a bad spot. Unless he can kill these. Yeah, I don't. Trigby's a bad
Over your dead body.
Okay, so we're gonna lose Drummer. But Baron gives us the same amount of play. He plays for 7 as well. We lose that boost, but that's fine. I would have preferred him for the final round. Let's think of this. He is a 6. 6 would still keep us in this round. We don't need him per se. We can actually just play one of these Blue Stripes Commandos. And Baron gives us a huge number of points because we get final say next round. So I actually think that's probably the better play. And whoever it is goes to graveyard anyway. Oh, that was dumb. That was a dumb play. That was dumb. Okay, we gotta use this. I should have played him to ranged. I don't know what I was thinking.
To the enemy.
But here's what it is. So he procs the damage there from that rupture, which I wish that it wasn't like a damage thing. I wish rupture was just like destroys self, not does damage equal to its health. But you know, there's pros and cons to that. Alright, so we have Drog, we have both of our other cards. We have Zeal, so I think basically the play here will probably be Voimir on these Blue Stripes with, and then we'll just play him into that same row and then go Drog. We lose the armor that way though. Well, I don't think we could have got better draws though. I mean, Visigair just really isn't gonna be as good this round. But we actually can grab him if we want to. We really need this Bloody Baron. Hemdahl is going to be like a life ruiner, right? So Amphibious Assault, I think the obvious choice here is Blue Stripes. We get him boosted up by 3 points to 7, and then get the other 3. And he has already played Giga Scorpion Decoction, which would be the closest, and Trigby. Oh, and we have lost our internet for a second, so that's annoying. Hopefully that comes back. I'm gonna be really annoyed if this game ends up, if the servers end up having gone out, right? We had this game in the bag. Oh, this has happened a couple of times to me this season. The servers just decide to give up. Sometimes wonder if it's like my opponent is really competitive and is just like DDoS spamming me. Yeah, I mean, let's try this out. Let's just check out. Yeah, look, 100 megabits per second. So I guess this video can be a different rant if we need it to be. All right. Okay, there we go. We're back in. All right. I was about to lose my mind. Yeah, I don't think he has any removal. So I think we save our leader ability. I think we put this to melee and we can play Baron to range. Even if he took out the rupture, that wouldn't be able to kill us. I doubt he's running a lock because he does have devotion requirements. He played all of his cards before, so there is a better than 0 chance that he did not get Harled, right? His draw still has 9 cards in it. So again, we have better than 0% chance he does not have Harled. Okay, I think we go here. And I think we do Drog, and then I think we do Voimir. I think that's best play for us. Yeah. $26 points. He procs 5 damage here, so we go down to 21. He goes up to 15. Yeah, he decides. And we still had Bloody Baron to finish this off, right? So anyway, this is a deck that works, as you saw, very much, very good against the Skellige deck even. So I think this totally is a meta deck, totally worth playing. I think it can have some struggles against Ethereal, just because it doesn't put up quite as many points. But you think about all of those Blue Stripes Commandos we're spawning, and if you're using Scouts with Amphibious Assault, those play for 9 actually. So your cadence of play and the number of units and the power of those units is actually pretty equal to Ethereal. You're just missing out on like the Agairn and Osril plays. But if you have Bloody Baron and you have Last Say, you can erase that play on Osril. If you are using your Undead Spectre Knights, Kedwani Revenants, then you can actually kill off one of those Ethereals with 4 damage and get 3 points back. So the net play there is actually really good for you. But I would say that's probably the hardest one I've played against. And then, as always, Nilfgaard ruining your life. But again, I've won some and I've lost some with that. So I think this is a great deck. I think you'll have a lot of fun playing it. So I hope this fits the bill for you, Shuban. Please let me know what you think. And if you have any other recommendations for a future deck. But until then, please hit that like button. Please subscribe. Please comment. And I will see you soon as you get out there and keep on gwenting.